The 296 with its plug-in hybrid twin-turbo V6 is the fastest RWD car we've ever tested. Let's skip the pleasantries, shall we? The 2023 Ferrari 296 GTB Assetto Fiorano is the fastest rear-wheel drive production car MotorTrend has tested. Each of the 6 quicker cars we tested relied on all-wheel drive to save a precious tenth or two in the 0 to 100 mph sprint, and only 2 cars with more than 1000 bhp each could overtake the rear. Drag your Ferrari for a quarter mile. How fast is fast? The numbers: the 2023 Ferrari 296 GTB hit 60 mph from a standstill in 2.3 seconds, beating the previous record holder by a tenth of a second. That car? The mighty LaFerrari in all its electric-powered V12 glory. Tighten the throttle, and the 296 GTB cracks a 9.6-second quarter-mile time at 149.6 mph, holding it down in extremely lean air. The only 2 cars with a faster transmission are the Tesla Model S Plaid and the Lucid Air Sapphire, both of which make hundreds of extra horsepower and drive all 4 wheels. Neck and neck with the Ferrari 296 at the finish line is the Ferrari SF90 Stradale Assetto Fiorano, the fastest hybrid and fastest internal combustion car we've tested. With an extra 168 horsepower, 3 times the electric motor and 2 more cylinders, the SF90 gets off the line quicker and hits 60 mph in 2.1 seconds. But those extras add another 311 pounds to the car's curb weight. A lighter 296 pounds extra does. GTB to make it to the quarter-mile finish line. In the photo, both cars cross the line in 9.6 seconds, but the 296 is going 4.4 mph at that point. How it works? Yes. The 2023 Ferrari 296 GTB achieves all this with a plug-in hybrid twin-turbo V6 powering only the rear wheels. The nearly straight 120-degree wide-angle V6 makes 654 horsepower on its own. And an electric motor sandwiched between it and an 8-speed dual-clutch transaxle makes another 164 horsepower for a peak output of 818 horsepower. Meanwhile, the gas engine makes 546 pound-feet of peak torque, while the electric motor makes 232. Combustion engines and electric motors don't reach peak output at the same rate, so it's hard to determine their combined totals, but that doesn't matter in the case of the 2023 Ferrari 296 GTB anyway. Ferrari deliberately limits and adjusts the electric motor's output in each gear to create the desired power delivery. So what you're getting at any given moment is a careful balance of turbo boost and electric assist rather than anything the powertrain has to offer. Not that it feels that way from the inside. Throw in a launch control start and you'll find it hard to believe this car leaves anything on the table. The power is great and builds just like the spinners. With an 8,500 RPM redline, you, or the computer, move in when it sounds like the engine can't rev any faster, and you experience another surge of power. It seems to us that the real goal is to make it feel like an older V8 but with double the horsepower. Thanks to this electric motor, low-end torque is stronger and more immediate than you'd expect. The turbos kick in quickly and there's a surge in acceleration past the 4,500 revolutions per minute mark when you feel the engine reach full power and come into cam at the same time. It doesn't stop until you shift, with the slightest pause as the engine drops back into the high 4,000 revolutions per minute range and repeats this until you're off the road. For all that, it really does sound like a new kind of V12. Ferrari engineers started calling it the Piccolo V12, small V12. To our ears, it sounds like a cross between a straight 6 and a V12. Other numbers. Raw acceleration isn't the only thing the 2023 Ferrari 296 GTB does well. When traveling close to 150 miles per hour after only a quarter mile, big brakes are a must. The 296 stops at 60 miles per hour. Our standard metric, in just 88 feet. That's 2 feet shorter than the heavier SF90 and among the shortest distances we've ever recorded. Only 3 cars stopped short and only a couple of pedestrians stopped. Throw in the ideal theoretical 0 to 100 miles per hour test with acceleration and braking. And it's the second fastest car we've tested at 8.1 seconds. Only the SF90 advances in 7.9. The only instrumented test the 296 doesn't dominate comes on the skid pad. Its average lateral acceleration of 1.15 grams is fantastic, but 15 cars did better. Don't think you've found a chink in the Ferrari's armor. If anything, it's a trap. Ask the car to turn, accelerate and brake in quick succession, as we did in our Figure 8 test, and the 296 set another record. 1/10 of a second and 1/3 of a second was enough to take the crown from the McLaren 765 LT Spider with a new lap record of 21.7 seconds at 1.04 grams. Driver getting there requires careful management of your tire pressures. Ferrari uses the same trick as McLaren to give the 296 GTB excellent cornering response and good steering feel, especially for the Marque's first attempt at electric power steering, relatively narrow front wheels. The downside is that these tires heat up quickly during hard maneuvers and pressures rise, eroding maximum grip and introducing mild slippage. In other words, the conditions have to be perfect to get that record lap. Likewise, the brake pedal takes some time to get used to. This is Ferrari's second go at the brake-by-wire system. And it's not as good as the first attempt, the SF90, better than the F8 and 488 before it, but not as good as the SF90. The 296 has a bit of a wooden brake pedal feel that requires you to trust the braking system somewhat blindly rather than fully trusting what your foot is telling you. Ultimately, you have to trust the car in general. Ferrari's excellent side slip control vehicle dynamics system is a bit too conservative to set records in either sport or race modes. Turn the manettino on the steering wheel to the CT off position. Traction control is turned off, stability control is in the most relaxed mode, and the car comes to life. No longer trying to eliminate all wheel slip, Cord Off lets you power steer the 296 with a bit less exiting corners instead of limiting power until the steering wheel is flat. However, at no point is oversteer threatening or twisting, absolutely everything the tires can deliver and making it easy to turn corners without the fear of expensive repair bills.